It's fantasy football draft season. We gotta find the best picks possible in our draft. News is hitting us left and right. We still got a bunch of preseason games to cover, and there might be some injuries, some players that do well, do bad, more practice news. But today we're going over 12 trending players for you to pay attention for in your drafts this weekend. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. I'm going to always be here for you. Finding guys off the waiver wire, helping you set your lineups, looking at the matchups, helping you with your drafts. It's all right here. Click that button. Stop missing out. Ric Flair's watching. You do not want to disappoint Ric Flair. Click that button. Stop missing out. The first thing we're going to talk about today is we might have another trade brewing, and it's Adam Thielen, and he might be going back to the Minnesota Vikings. If that happens, with Jordan Addison out for 3 games, and Justin Jefferson, we got to see if he's going to be good to go, but he should be. But they're looking at Adam Thielen here as a replacement, a guy that can step in, a good wide receiver still. When he's healthy and out there, he's productive. He gets it done, good hands. Might be going back to Minnesota. His wife has been trolling people on Instagram and showing pictures of their dog in the pool about it. Everybody's been refreshing on Twitter, especially Vikings fans. This deal might be happening, and if it does, his stock is going to rise a bit. This is a high-volume passing offense that is very fast. They run a lot of plays. They're usually 5th in the league in plays ran. He's a veteran. He's trusted. He can create separation, good around the red zone. His issue lately has been health. When he's been out there on the field, he's been productive, especially for fantasy football. Now, once all the wide receivers come back, once everything's stabilized with the Vikings, expect his potential for fantasy football to reduce. But this is also news to pay attention to. We're looking at round 14 ADP here on Underdog Fantasy, probably less than that in home league drafts. He will bump up a little bit. He will catch some notice, especially for the start of the season. But T-Mac will get a lot better targets. He will get a lot better opportunities, especially around the red zone. Adam Thielen's locked down. And if this happens, T-Mac will probably be more consistent week to week, be more reliable in fantasy football. If this happens, you're looking at T-Mac a little bit more. Like, Xavier Legette's not going to command a ton of targets. Like, he's going to get some money targets. He's going to get some opportunities. He's going to get moved around the offense, especially around the red zone and motion and all that to get those mismatches. T-Mac's in line for 20 to 25% target share. That's going to bump up if Adam Thielen's gone, because those targets got to go somewhere. You're looking at some of the other wide receivers. You're looking at Coker. You're looking at T-Mac, though. He will be the star of the show in Carolina. And Adam Thielen isn't supposed to really usurp him much, but he's also supposed to be that buffer to help T-Mac ramp up for when he goes blast off. T-Mac will go blast off, and it might be sooner if Adam Thielen is gone. And Brian Robinson Jr., as we covered in a couple videos already, has been traded to the 49ers. He is now in handcuff status for Christian McCaffrey. He should be going in double-digit rounds. I'm not chasing him. I don't think he has that much upside, except for he might be even better behind the 49ers offensive line. They got a good schedule, but it's the Christian McCaffrey show. I'm not chasing Brian Robinson unless he's at a very, very, very good discount. Jacory Croskey-Merritt is rising, and he's rising stock rapidly. He's a running back everybody wants now. If you got him last week or even yesterday, you got him at a good deal. If you got him a few months ago in Dynasty, if you got him a couple weeks ago at the start of draft season, you got a good deal. And now the price is up there. When I did my first video on him around last week, he was a lot cheaper. Now he's probably going to go in single-digit rounds. And there's random home league drafts where random picks happen. I imagine he's going to go up there, especially people trying to get the trendy RB1, trying to be the smartest guy in the room. I expect this weekend in drafts, you're going to see him all over the place. Isaac Tesla has been making plays in preseason. You have to know Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown. There's 50% of the targets. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get a rack of targets. And you're also looking at Sam Laporta. Isaac Tesla, look at his size, 6'4", 214. We got good speed, elite speed score. What does that say to you? That tells me that this is a wide receiver that when he's on the field, when he's deployed, he's going to get deep targets. And if he's getting deep targets and there's not many targets to go around, that says splash play potential. So how could you use him? Best ball. Best ball is great for a wide receiver like this. You might catch a couple splash games and a lot of nada. And also random lineups for daily fantasy football in large tournaments where you can max enter a bunch of lineups, and you have Lions stacks, and he's cheap. You throw him in here, and you hope he brings in a deep ball. That's how you strategize Isaac Tesla. If you're in a fantasy league and you have more than 16 rounds, you're looking at him as a desperation play. When I'm looking at my lottery tickets, he's one guy you can look at. However, I'm looking at all these rookie running backs, these young year 2 running backs, these running backs that are handcuffs with a lot of upside. Taj Brooks, DJ Giddens, Money Guy, Rashawn Johnson, no, but also Chris Rodriguez, a bunch of these running backs. I'm going after the running backs instead. And Evan Ingram is the tight end in the later rounds. Home league drafts, he's a little bit cheaper than this, that I'm getting on my teams. I think he's going to rack up targets. He's going to rack up opportunities. A 25% target share last year, 7 targets per game. Bo Nix is a good fit for him. He's a good fit for Bo Nix. Bo Nix lives to play for the next down. So if it's not there up top, he's not going to push it. That means it's going to the tight end or RJ Harvey in the flat. I think this is a good marriage of player quarterback, and I think this is going to be a good system for him. DeAndre Swift. This is how the season's going to go. We're going to start off the season. It's going to be so-so. And all of a sudden, there's going to be a run of games where DeAndre Swift, fantasy football scoring-wise, feels like one of the top running backs in football. And it could be 1 or 2 games, 3 to 5 games, maybe a little more. And then all of a sudden, it just falls off the table. That's what you're going to get this year. And it will probably be something similar to last year because this is a very flashy running back. There's a lot of sizzle to the steak, but there's not much seasoning. Like, he does not really have the career of a top flight running back like the Saquons, the Bijans, but he's got the flashiness with the size adjusted athleticism, the draft capital coming out, how he's using the passing game. It just never materializes, but it does for short instances with every team he's with. You'll see that this year. That's what you'll get. If that happens, you can sell him. But I'm not going to draft players to sell, especially in traditional redraft leagues, home leagues, because sometimes it's like pulling teeth to get deals done. However, if you catch yourself with DeAndre Swift, you got him at a discount, you like him or whatever, you see that rise kind of like last year, which he will have unless he gets hurt, some sort of rise like that, you may want to pull that deal. Sticking with the Bears, Rome Odunze has upside in this offense. I like Rome Odunze. The thing about Rome Odunze, when I look at him, he's a wide receiver in the range of a bunch of other lottery ticket wide receivers. And I'm like, and then I just pick one. And that's my Rome Odunze analysis. I like Pearsall, Igbuka, Odunze. I like Matthew Golden. The ones I like the most right now, Golden and Pearsall. I'm interested in Odunze, but I'm very interested in Luther Burden. I feel like Luther Burden could be a sneaky play. I think Rome Odunze has upside week to week with a lot of low-end volatility with high-end volatility, which means volatility. And then you got Igbuka. Chris Godwin might be back sooner than later, but he's also a sneaky pick for this offense. But that's why they're all top-end lottery ticket plays. And I will pick one and get the next one in the next round if one falls to me too, because I will take those top flight upside lottery ticket wide receivers, because once I get to the double digit rounds, there's not much there. Jaylen Warren, if you're drafting with 2 or 3 condoms on, cool. He is going to be the RB1 for the Steelers to start things off. You also got Arthur Smith. You got the slow-paced offense of the Steelers. However, he's reliable. Pass blocking. He will be out there on the field. And the thing about Jaylen Warren, Caleb Johnson might take his job somewhere down the line this season. While he's out there on the field, he has the potential to get you 9, 10, 11, 12 points per game. That's why I say 2 condoms on. But if you want that, you want the stability, That's really Jaylen Warren in a nutshell. And also you want to look at the cost, and you're looking behind him. Like, I like Travis Etienne for the upside. Jordan Mason in that offense, depending on what happened with him and Aaron Jones throughout the season. Tyrone Tracy has some upside. It's really depending on where he falls in the draft. And if you're in the right home league draft, he might fall in like the double-digit rounds, where you might have took your upside flyers earlier, like RJ Harvey, Hendo. What if you stacked on those two guys? Maybe you come back with a Warren that you found cheap in your draft later. That's a strategy with him. But I have not talked about Jaylen Warren in a minute, and he's trending to be the RB1. We'll see if there's more news that comes out this weekend. Gainwell's going to get more work than advertised. Caleb Johnson's going to have a slow ramp-up. Arthur Smith's going to stroke that mustache. DJ Giddens is one of my favorite lottery ticket running backs. He was one of my favorite running backs in the draft. If he would have went third roundish, early fourth roundish, I would have been racking up on DJ Giddens. I'm still racking up right now in drafts. The thing about this is he's outside the scope in traditional leagues. However, unless you really want to make the pick. If I have Jonathan Taylor, I'm looking at Giddens hard. I'm thinking about it hard. I'm looking at my last picks, and I'm thinking, can I fit him in there? Can I fit him in there? Can you do it? And if you're watching Jonathan Taylor, you're watching these backs, DJ Giddens is one of those rookies you're paying attention to. There's a few rookie running backs here that are falling out of fantasy drafts that you need to pay attention to. This is one of them. And I'm not saying Jonathan Taylor's injury riddled. I'm saying he's going to get a lot of touches. And when you get a lot of touches, you're going to have to watch out for that running back, because you know what happens when you get more touches in this league, and it is what it is. And we're looking at the Chief. I talked about the Chief earlier this week. Flacco named the starting quarterback. Flacco smokes out with the Chief. That's the thing about that. 18.6 points per game for Njoku when he's with Flacco. At 6 receptions a game, 9 targets. That's elite. You're catching him cheap, and it's the Browns. He's going to be cheap in your league. If you want to go cheap tight end, this is a guy to look at. And I just want to call it out again so whoever stumbles upon this video can get them some Chief. But Jaydon Blue is my favorite upside play. Early double-digit rounds. We'll see him in the preseason game. If he has a long run, he's going to go off. If you have a draft on Sunday, then it might be too late to get him cheap. It might be good enough if he does not hit. I think you're not hoping for him to hit on Saturday in that preseason game. I think you're hoping for him to have a stalemate and not suck. But Jaydon Blue's got speed. This is an ambiguous backfield. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. Javonte Williams. Maybe we can revert back before the injury. But last year he wasn't efficient. Miles Sanders is a training camp narcissist. We got to see what they're going to do with Phil Maffa. This is my favorite upside play in the draft. Everybody wants Cowboys running backs. So he's going to be fluid on the trade market. He's going to be liquid. You can trade him if you don't like him, but he's on the field getting touches. You can deal him. Cowboys players are easy to deal, especially if you got Cowboys fans. If you got Texas fans, this is a running back to pay attention. Those are the players we're talking about today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.